Alright, this video is going to be about the circumference of a circle and finding the circumference. So this is just a brief introduction and we're going to be working on this in class. So the ratio of the circumference of a circle to its diameter is pi. So the circumference of a circle is equal to pi times the diameter, or pi times twice the radius. So looking at this picture right here, we can say, we remember that the diameter goes all the way across through the center of a circle from one part of the circle or one side of the circle all the way to the other side. And that diameter is made up of two radius, or two radii. So the diameter is actually two radius. And then the radius is just from the center to one side of the circle. So it said the ratio of the circumference of a circle to its diameter is pi. So the ratio of circumference to the diameter is pi. But here we need to try to find the circumference, so we need c by itself. So it's kind of like a one-step equation. So if we need c by itself, what do we need to do? Well, instead of dividing by d, the diameter, we're going to multiply both sides by d, the diameter. So that'll cross out, and you're left with circumference is equal to pi times diameter. Or, we know that the diameter is equal to two radiuses. So that's how you get both of these formulas. Now both of these formulas are on your formula chart. So you're going to be getting a formula chart in class, an updated one to keep in your notebook, and when you take the STAR test, the formula chart will be in your test booklet. So let's do example number 1 here. Determine the circumference. So you have a circle, and the thing that we know about the circle is that our diameter is 70 feet. So to find the circumference, we'd write our formula first. That's our first step. Circumference is equal to pi times the diameter. Now, a little bit, something that's different this year in 7th grade is 3 14/100ths. So you're going to have to get used to using 3 all the time. Start using 3 14/100ths. And then we're going to multiply that times the diameter, which is 70 feet. And then you're going to multiply 3 14/100ths, times 70. 7 times 4 is 28. Carry the 2. 7, 8, 9. 7 times 3 is 21. Add them up. I have 1 2 decimals, so I need 1 2 decimals. So my circumference would be equal to 219 8/10 feet. So it would take 219 8/10 feet to go all the way around this circle one time. Let's work on example 2 here. Find the circumference. Well, I'm going to write my formula. Here, 3.5 would be my radius. And if I doubled it and made it go 3.5 in the other direction, 3.5 plus 3.5 would be my diameter. So 7 would be my diameter. Okay, so I can use either one of those to find my circumference. Circumference is equal to pi times diameter. Remember, pi is 3 14/100ths. My diameter is 7. So now I'm just going to multiply them. 7 times 4 is 28. 7, 8, 9, 21. 1 2 decimal places, 1 2 decimal places. So my circumference is 21 98/100ths miles. So it's going to take, if I wanted to go one time around that circle, it'd be 21 98/100 miles, almost 22 miles. Now, being in 7th grade, you start getting different kinds of circles. Here we have a semicircle, which is basically half a circle. So we want to find the distance around the shape. So basically, if you start here and you go all the way around the shape, what would that distance be? So I'm thinking that's half a circle. So I know from here, let me highlight it for you. From here all the way to here would be half the circumference. Once I know half the circumference, then I can just add this part right here, which we know is 100 centimeters, to that total. So let's see, I'm going to find the circumference by doing pi times diameter, but then I'm going to divide it by 2 because I only want this part right here. I don't want the whole thing, this half. So pi is 3 1400ths. My diameter is hundreds centimeters, and we're going to multiply that and divide by 2. So 3 1400ths times 100 be 413. Okay, I have 2 decimal places up here, 2 up here, 2 down here. So that's 314. And now I need to take 314 and divide it by 2. Oops, that's a 5. 5 times 2 is 10. 1, bring down the 4. So it'd be 157. So the yellow part, that circumference, would be 157 centimeters. But then we also need this diameter right here, so we'd have to add 100 centimeters. That's half the circumference. So that's 257 centimeters. 257 centimeters would be how much distance it would take to go from here all the way around. Okay, let's do this other one. This one's like a 3/4. So basically I need to find 3/4 of the circumference. So if I started from here and went all the way there, that would be 3/4 of the circumference. And I know 5 is the radius, so I know 10 would be the diameter. So to find the circumference, I do pi times the diameter, which would be 3 1400ths times 10 feet. I know multiplying by 10 is just going to move my decimal one time, so it'll be 31 4/10 feet. But now I need 3/4 of that. So I'm going to multiply it by 3/4. Take 31 4/10 and multiply it by 3. 3 be 4, be 9, 1 decimal, 1 decimal. Which would be 94 2/10. And I'm going to divide that by 4. 12, 2, 2. 4 will go into 22 5 times, that'd be 20. Okay, so it'd be 23 5500ths feet. Now that's the yellow part. And then I need to add in this 5 feet and this 5 feet. $10, $13. So it'd be 33 5500ths feet. So we're going to continue working on this in class, but this was your little brief introduction.